Hi, this is Sharon Brennan, Cottage Lane Stamper. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from the U.S. and today I'm going to show you how to make a gift bag with 2 sheets of Designer Series paper. This Designer Series paper is called True Love. It is from our new mini catalog, which debuts January 5th, 2021. And it's on page 11 in here. I can't open this up until the catalog debuts. So it's on page 11 and also on page 84. In the back of the catalog, I love how they do a summary of all the stamps and embellishments and DSP for really a quick reference. So anyway, like I said, this is part of a suite and for Valentine's. And I'm going to show you how to make 2 sheets, or a gift bag out of 2 sheets of DSP. So I'm going to be using our scoring board, Simply Scored tool. And I saw this a few years ago from Connie Stewart, and I've made a few of these bags, and I think they're just absolutely gorgeous. So you need to decide which is going to be your front and which is going to be your back. And I am going to, let's see, and then you also have to be mindful of the stripe. So I want my stripe on my top to go down. So we're going to start here, and your first score mark is going to be at 2 inches. I'll make sure I use the right end here so I don't cut it. 2 inches and 9 inches. Sometimes I press a little too hard and it goes right through the paper. So if you have a scoring tool, scoreboard, it's got a wider end and here we go, a narrower end. You can see that. I can get them both in here at the same time. So this would you'd use for your really heavy cardstock. Anyway, it's at 2 inches and 9 inches. Then you can also make different, this is going to be a 7-inch bag. So if you wanted a 6-inch bag, your score mark would be at 3 inches and at 9 inches. And 6.5 would be 2.5. So it depends on how tall you want your bag, and I'll put those dimensions on my blog for you. So we've scored this one, and now we're going to turn it a quarter turn. And I don't know if it makes a difference which way these flowers go. I think it will go this way. So start here, and we're going to go this way. It's going to go this way. So now you can make a few score marks on this one. So I'm doing it at 1.5. and 3 and 9 and 10.5. So we've got that one done, and now we're going to do the second one. And when you have bring in your second piece, you want your papers to match. Like up in the corner, if you have directional paper, that's what I'm trying to say. So these 2 corners match. So I want to make sure that I put my my stripe going the same way. So this is my 2-inch mark. Okay, these square it up here. 2-inch mark is here. So I'll flip these over. This will be my 2-inch mark. And then my 9-inch mark. And then bring this back in here. And so I've got my 2-inch mark here and my 9-inch mark down here. So I am turning them, let's see, so this should be good. Yep, okay. Then we're going to score it at 1.5 and 3 and 9 and 10.5 again. And then we can put our simply scored away. Now we're going to burnish our score lines. So I have to think here. So this one will go. This one will go in, and this one will go out. This will form the gusset of our bag. So, let's get that right. To decide which is the front and the back. So, actually, I'm going to do that now. I want this to be on the outside. So, this is going to be there, and this is going to be burnished this way. This will be the bottom of our bag. And then I will do the same thing for this one. This will be the bottom. And this will be the top. I want this black border on the outside. Striped border, I should say. And this will be the side of the bag. Get that lined up there. Burnish that good. And this will be like this. And the other side of our bag. There. Now, we are going to take some adhesive and glue this down. So, get my glue here. Make sure I get the corners good. And the top, the sides. So this is going to be glued down. I like to give it a good press. And we'll do the same thing with our other piece. So, and if I do both pieces at the same time, I have a little bit better luck of keeping track of what I'm doing. There. Give that a good press. Won't this make an elegant bag for a gift? Now, we are going to, I need one more piece of, before I forget. If we want a little bit of reinforcement for the bottom of our bag, we're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 3 by 6. So this is 6 and 3. Now, if you don't have a simply scored scoring board, you could also use your paper trimmer, because we're fortunate that our trimmer extends out to 17 inches, a little over 17 inches there. So you could use your scoring blade on there too. So this is going to be what I'm going to call the inside of the bag. So we are going to take our scissors, and I had it here a second ago. my long-handled one. I must have hit it somewhere on myself. I do that all the time. But we are going to cut along this score line here, if you can see that. And cut here all the way up to that 3-inch score mark. And I'm just going to angle these off a little bit. What I did with my scissors. It's so big I don't know how I could lose it. But I am constantly losing stuff on my desk, even if it's cleaned off. Which right now it fairly is. Excuse me. And we're going to cut on this side here. And this side here. Just up to that score mark. There. Now, we're going to take our piece of 3x6 cardstock and we're going to put it in the bottom right here. And this will reinforce our bag a little bit on the bottom. Okay, whatever you have is a little bit heavier, so we're going to just go right up to that score line and give that a good press. Now we're going to put glue on our flaps, and these are going to go on the outside. I did my flap on the wrong side, my bottom. It's not going to make much difference because it should have gone, my cardstock should have gone on this side. But it's not going to make much difference. Actually, I think I kind of prefer it this way. That way it's kind of hidden. So we're going to glue these down here. And square that up. I like to, and you want to use a really good adhesive when you're doing your 3D projects. And then we're going to put some adhesive here. So I would recommend the multi-purpose glue, the new Stampin' Seal Plus, or tear and tape. I like glue because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. And then this will be the gusseted sides of our bag here. So now we're going to, it's 1/2 of the bag. Now we're going to bring the other side in here, and we are also going to, we're going to cut these, but we're not going to angle them. We're just cutting them square up to the score line. If I had my longer scissors, it wouldn't get caught in there like that. Okay. And this is the second score line over. So like this is making like a 3-inch square here. Okay. So now these are also going to, I did glue the top, okay. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. It looked so long there, I thought for a second that I didn't glue it. So this is going to get squared up inside here. And then this one will also get glued. Give it a good glue and square the edge of that up with the score line. And give that a good press. Now, this side is going to fit in this side here. And there is our gift bag. So I'm going to use some glue and put it on this, the one that has the panel on the inside. And you can use this bag I mean, you can use different DSPs all year round for different gift bags. And then you can even coordinate it with your card if you wanted to. Using the same DSP bundle. This is a good glue, and then stick this inside of this. And line those up. Add a good press inside. Sometimes I like to take a block, like one of my clear blocks, and just kind of burnish it with the block. There. And we can put our glue away. And there is our bag. So now here these sides are gusseted, and so they'll bend in like this. And then we're going to add some ribbon to it. So I have some black satin ribbon, and you want a wider ribbon. This is about 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch. Let's see. It is a 1/2 inch, so I would say 1/2 inch is the minimum, and you want them both exactly the same lengths. And we're going to take a little punch, a paper punch. I don't have the Stampin' Up! One, but we're going to use this one, and hopefully I'm strong enough. So I'm going to eyeball this, and I'm going to push it in as far as it can go, and about 1 inch. I've got these stripes, so I'm going to line them up with the stripes here, and hopefully I can, we managed. So I went in and on the stripe there. Otherwise, just kind of eyeball it. It's about 1 inch, 1.5 inches in. We're going to take our ribbon and we're going to tie it in a knot. Not real tight, because you don't want it to go through the hole. And I'm actually going to angle this off real quick. And I'm going to go in from the inside. And then go from the other side and go in. And we want our knots to be about in the same place, so the handles are fairly equal. So it's about there. There's one handle. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And I've got those 3 lines there. So 1.5 inches, I just push it in as far as I can go and punch. And the same on this side. Well, you could measure it if you wanted to. And tie another knot in our ribbon. The other piece, I should say, and it's about the same place. And I'm going to angle that off a little bit, and then again we go from the inside to the other side and poke it through. And there's our bag. Now all we have to do is add a little gift tag to it. You can see that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so stunning. It's a very elegant looking bag. I love this paper. I actually bought it. We've got that new card envelope dies, and I bought this to actually make liners for sympathy cards. Because sometimes you like to do a black and white sympathy card, and this will make an elegant liner too. So let's make a tag. This is such an elegant bag. I want to make an elegant tag for it. So I've got 2 pieces of scrap paper here, Whisper White and Basic Black, and I'm going to cut them 2 inches wide, and I'm going to use a couple different punches here. So I'm going to make this 2 inches by, let's see, it's 3 1/4. So I'm going to make this one 2 inches by 3. I'm going to go 3 1/2, I think. I want one hanging a little bit behind the other one. And then we are going to do a little bit of embossing, heat embossing. So I've got another piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to use my embossing buddy on here. And I'm actually going to use one of the stamps from the holiday catalog, but I'm going to use this one here. It says "For You," and that one you can use pretty much all year round. I like you a latte. That one would be good for all year round. There's some hearts in here, some coffee cups, so it's not exclusively for Christmas. And there's this beautiful one here too that's kind of a filigree octagonal one. So we're going to bring some Versamark in here, and I'm going to take that stamp out. Let's see, which one is it? Oh, these are I cut extra pieces and I just leave them in here if I ever want to use them again. So this one is for you here. And if you're new to stamping and your stamps this color like this from the ink, and they will do that from the darker ink, don't worry. It doesn't, after you clean them off, it does not affect the the stamp. So I'm going to bring in my paper piercing mat, because this is a photopolymer mat. They don't have as much cush as the red rubber, and so I'm just going to stamp this here in the corner. Give it a good press. Make sure I have good coverage. And then I'm going to use some silver embossing powder. Sprinkle that over. I'll set that aside. And then I've got my my heat gun here. And I usually have a clothespin on here. I like to use a clothespin to hold my paper. So, and I also like to warm my gun up a little bit too before I use it. Give it a couple seconds. And then, if you can see this, as it melts, it's shiny. And it shouldn't really take any longer than that to emboss your image. Hold it far enough away, and then, let's see. Oh, I want to measure this. This is an inch, about 1.5 inches. So I'm going to use my 1.5 inch punch. Actually, I'm going to use my 1 3/8 inch punches. And if you're a punch girl like I am, you want to make sure you check the clearance rack, because they are getting rid of a lot of the circle punches. So I'm going to line this up and punch that out. And then I have a die that I'm going to put behind it, and I'm going to pull out some silver foil, and we're going to die cut that. So I have my scrap piece of silver foil, and I'm going to bring in my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to put this on here, And we're going to run this through. I love this. I can just bring it right up on my desktop and work from there. And have to get up and walk over to my die cutting area. And slides a little bit on the paper. I'll put these back in here. I tell you, when I first got this, I really didn't want to mess up my nice new clear plates. That's just me. I knew eventually I'd have to. And so we're going to take this and we're going to adhere this to this. Now, I try to avoid using glue with foil because inevitably I get it on my fingers. So let's see if we can find the end here. I'm going to use some tear and tape. Put it on the back of this. And then my little, I've got it over the edge. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not going to be a big deal. I like to burnish that a little bit. And I'll peel this off, and that little piece that's stuck over the edge, we're just going to bend it back. And we're going to center this on here. I just like that little extra bling around the outside. And we're going to bring in our tag topper. This is the scallop tag topper. And we're going to slide that in there and punch it. And then we're going to do the same with this one, our black piece. Let's see, maybe this is a little bit more than 2 inches. I better double check this. Just to be sure. Just a hair. Sometimes just that like 1/16 of an inch makes a difference in sliding in. There we go, much better. We're going to punch that. And then I'm going to take a banner punch. And I like this because you can make banner punches anywhere from 1/2 to 1 to 2 inches. So this is an inch or 1 inch, an inch and a half, and to 2 inches. And they're doing that a lot more with our punches right now. So I don't want all of this to be punched. So I'm just lining up the corners with, I don't want too much punched off the bottom there. So I didn't stick it in all the way. And then we've got these two and this, and I think I might actually do that with the same, with this one too. Just to the edges here. There. It gives it a little bit more cohesiveness. There we go. And we're going to put this right on here. And use some, I think I'm going to use some dimensionals actually. A couple of those. And make sure my for you is at the top. Here's our finished tag. If you don't have a demonstrator, I'd be honored to be yours. If you want to buy any of the products that I showed now, the DSP is not going to be available until January 5th, and the stamp set that I used is going to be discontinued on January 4th. So if you're interested in that, I would purchase that right away. It's while supplies last because we're getting to the end of the catalog. So my store website is SharonBrennan.stampinup.net, and you can find the supplies on my blog. and the dimensions at cottageLaneStamper.blogspot.com, and make sure you join my Facebook group page, Cottage Lane Stamper and Friends. So I can zoom in on that a little bit so you can see that. Anyway, thanks for stopping in. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, and I love hearing from you. So take care. God bless.